Resolved further to declare that candidate Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Romualdez Marcos Jr. and candidate Sara Zimmerman Duterte received the highest number of votes.
Ako, si Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
Si Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. ay taimtim na nanunumpa. Natutuparin ko na buong katapatan at sigasig ang aking mga tungkulin, pangangalagaan at ipagtatanggol ang kanyang konstitusyon. Ipapatupad ang mga batas nito, magiging makatarungan sa bawat tao at itatalaga ang aking sarili sa paglilingkod sa bansa.
Kasihanawa ako ng Diyos.
Kasinawan ako ng Diyos.
Congratulations, Mr.
Maraming
President.
salamat. I fully understand the gravity of the responsibility that you've put on my shoulders. I do not take it lightly, but I am ready for the task. I will need your help. I want to rely on it, but rest assured I do not predicate success on the wide cooperation that's needed. I will get it done.
You're still watching Ang Panunumpa. One uses special coverage of the inauguration of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. I'm Sean Yao. Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos has been sworn in as the 17th President of the Philippines after taking his oath at the National Museum. Here's the report.
Ako, si Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
Si Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
ay mataimtim na nanunumpa.
ay taimtim na nanunumpa.
Natutuparin ko ng buong katapatan at sigasig
Natutuparin ko na buong katapatan at sigasig
ang aking mga tungkulin
bilang
Pangulo ng Pilipinas.
Pangulo ng Pilipinas.
Ferdinand Bongbong Romualdez Marcos Jr. is now officially the 17th President of the Philippines. The inauguration program started with actress Tony Gonzaga singing the national anthem.
Aming ligaya na pagpapangati ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
This was followed by a civic military parade along with the presentation of the country's military assets. Medical frontliners, Filipino athletes, and workers were also given tribute.
Of the Republic of the Philippines.
After the parade, outgoing Senate President Tito Soto recited the joint resolution of Senate and House of Representatives declaring Marcos Jr. and Vice President Sara Duterte as winners of this year's elections. At exactly 12 noon, Supreme Court Chief Justice Alexander Gesmundo administered the oath to the President. In his first speech as Chief Executive, Marcos Jr. repeated his call for unity, which was his main message during the campaign.
Pinakinggan ko ang tinig ninyo na ang sinisigaw ay pagkakaisa, pagkakaisa, pagkakaisa. We are Filipinos, one nation, one republic, indivisible.
President Marcos also highlighted his late father's accomplishment. However, he said that Filipinos should focus on the future.
I am here not to talk about the past. I am here to tell you about our future. A future of sufficiency, even plenty of readily available ways and means to get done what needs doing by you, by me. We do not look back, but ahead. Up the road that we must take to a place better than the one we lost in the pandemic.
Marcos Jr. also vowed to find a solution to address soaring oil prices. He also mentioned his plans on education.
What we teach in our schools, the materials used must be rethought. I am not talking about history. I am talking about the basics, the sciences, sharpening theoretical aptitude and imparting vocational skills.
Marcos Jr. also praised the Duterte administration's Build, Build, Build projects, which he vowed to continue. On dealing with the pandemic, here's what Marcos has to say.
There were shortcomings in the COVID response. We will fix them out in the open. No more secrets in public health.
After the inauguration program, the traditional Von d'honneur or diplomatic reception took place inside the National Museum. Then, newly appointed cabinet members took their oath before President Marcos at the Malacanang. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
And the Marcoses are back in Malacanang after over 3 decades. For the latest, let's bring in Gerard de la Peña, who's reporting to us live from on the ground. Hi, Gerard. How is the first family doing so far?
Well, Sean, as expected, it's a very busy first day for President Bongbong Marcos and the first family on their first day here in Malacanang. The first family left the National Museum at past 3 p.m. following the Von d'honneur. The first family was welcomed at the Malacanang with a 21-gun salute as part of the arrival honors. Also, as part of tradition, the first family entered the palace through the grand staircase. Marcos Jr. then proceeded to lead the oath-taking of his cabinet members. He also administered the oath of office of local officials from Ilocos Norte and Ilocos Sur, followed by a separate oath-taking for his son, Congressman Sandro Marcos. At 7 p.m., an inaugural dinner is set to take place here at the Malacanang. We don't have the details yet as to how many were invited, but the president is expected to wear a different barong, still designed by Pepito Albert, for the dinner tonight. Sean, a concert will take place at 9 p.m. at somewhere in Mindiola, and a world-renowned classical pianist Cecil Licad and the Philippine Philharmonic Orchestra are set to play upon request from President Bongbong Marcos. It's not yet clear, though, if the president will personally go there to attend the event. Sean.
All right, thank you so much for that update. Gerard de la Peña reporting to us live from Malacanang. President Bongbong Marcos delivered a clear inaugural speech. This is according to former presidential spokesperson Edwin Lacerda. Lacerda said Marcos Jr. was able to lay down his vision for the next 6 years and give emphasis to pressing matters, including food security, public health, and education. But Lacerda said he was expecting the new president to tackle foreign policy in his speech. However, this was not included.
Parang bagong administration, bagong simula, bagong vision. So, maganda yung pagkalatag ni Pangulong Marcos. Isang sa akin, magandang sinabi niya, let's not look to the past, because it means that he's charting his own legacy. Very forward-looking yung tingin niya. Sa akin, maganda yung tingnan natin, the challenge for President Marcos is to walk the talk.
We will be back with more stories after this break. Stay with us.
My father built more and better roads, produced more rice than all administrations before his. President Rodrigo Roa Duterte built more and better than all the administrations succeeding my father's. Much has been built, and so well, that the economic dogma of dispersing industry to develop the least likely places has been upturned. Development was brought to them. Investors are now setting up industries along the promising routes built. And yet, the potential of this country is not exhausted. Following these giant steps, we will continue to build. I will complete on schedule the projects that have been started. I'm not interested in taking credit. I want to build on success that's already happening. We will be presenting the public with a comprehensive infrastructure plan. 6 years could be just about enough time. No part of our country will be neglected. Progress will be made wherever there are Filipinos, so no investment is wasted.
You're still watching Ang Panunumpa, One News's special coverage of the inauguration of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. I'm Sean Yao. President Bongbong Marcos's inauguration was met with protests by some progressive groups who are calling for action on soaring oil and food prices. JC Cosico with the report.
Hours before the inauguration of President Bongbong Marcos, progressive groups sang the patriotic song Bayan Ko during their demonstration at the Plaza Miranda in Quiapo, Manila. They were supposed to protest at the Liwas ng Bonifacio, but the Freedom Park was already filled with Marcos supporters.
Bilang konsiderasyon sa mapayapang pagdaraos ng aming programa ngayong araw para maiwasan din ang anumang di magandang insidente sa mga Marcos supporters. At batay na rin sa naging request sa amin ng PNP. Kami nagpasya na iuurong ang aming programa at gagawin sa Plaza Miranda.
Protesters gathered to voice out their concerns on soaring oil prices and other basic commodities that are getting more expensive. They said Marcos can start with repealing the oil deregulation law.
Mula nang ipinatupad ang batas ng oil deregulation law mula ng 1998 hanggang sa kasalukuyan ay dumaranas ng patuloy na paghihirap ang hanay ng sektor ng public transport at ng mamamayang Pilipino.
They're also calling on the new administration to raise workers' wages.
Inabandona ni Duterte ang pagtataas ng sahod. Pwes, Bongbong Marcos, hinahamon ka namin ngayon. Ang kailangan ng mga mamamayang Pilipino, ng mga manggagawang Pilipino ay hindi po parat na sahod, hindi barya-barya.
They also believe that Marcos' campaign promise to bring down rice prices to 20 pesos per kilo is a tall order. They said this is not possible if the rice tariffication law is still in place. This is why for them, Marcos' first executive order as president should concern the economy. From Plaza Miranda, progressives then marched to Recto Avenue for an organized dispersal. The same can't be said in Quezon City, where several youth leaders were arrested while conducting a lightning banner hanging activity. In a statement, the Nag-Kaisa Labor Coalition condemned the arrests of Akbayan Youth's RJ Nagit and Jean Labongray and Benjamin Alvero of Centro Youth. They said the move is unacceptable in a democratic society and is a violation of freedom of expression. We have yet to get the side of the police regarding this. For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
And several supporters of President Bongbong Marcos were also present at the National Museum to witness his inauguration. Others even dressed up for the occasion, decked out in Filipiniana of red and green, the colors of the Uniteam. Some 5,000 of these supporters stayed at the Intramuros Golf Course, while 300 others were in the Liwasang Bonifacio.
Lahat ng aspeto para umunlad ng ating bansa ay lahat na nabigyan ng emphasis ni BBM. At naniniwala kami kay BBM. Okay po kami sa pananalita niya at layunin niya sa ating bansang Pilipinas.
For live updates and other stories on today's inauguration, stay tuned here on One News. The special coverage is available on Signal Channels 8, 250, as well as on Signal Play. Visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News. All sides, all the time.